If you guys want the fastest way to improve your aim, get some Control Freaks for cheap. Use code Goblin for 10% off and improve your aim today. Link in the description. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty World War II video. In tonight's video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through every single SMG or submachine gun in this game and talking about most of the variants and giving, in my opinion, the best variant for each of these guns. Now, the best variant is going to be based on a couple of things. Now, of course, the variants in this game are cosmetic only. That's the first thing. But these variants do help out the guns by changing the iron sights as well as giving XP bonus. And that's the big thing. I'll talk about that more in a second. But if you guys could drop a like on the video, I would really appreciate that. I think this video will be fairly helpful. Of course, you can't really pick which variants you get. I mean, you can with the ones you're crafting. But this just gives you an idea of the ones that you really want to feel good about when you're able to get them. If you guys can drop a like on this video, that would be absolutely awesome. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new as well and not already subscribed. I would appreciate that. And let's get right into this. So, like I said before, a lot of people will say these variants don't matter, they're cosmetic only. Not really. They are cosmetic only. They don't give you +1 damage or +1 accuracy, but what they will do is completely change the shape of the gun and more specifically the default sights on the gun, which for guns that have bad default sights or good default sights can really make or break the gun, as well as, of course, epics will give you a 10% soldier XP bonus and heroics a 15% soldier XP bonus, which is another thing to keep in mind. So let's go through and let's talk about these. I know you guys will enjoy today's video, and let's start it off with the first SMG in the game, which is going to be the grease gun. Now for the grease gun, I have to say the best variant for the grease gun, there's not that much selection. As you can see here, there's only 3 variants. I gotta go with the candy, which is essentially the same as the brandy. Kind of weird because they rhyme there, but it definitely has a better camo around it than the brandy does, and that's why I gotta go with the candy. Plus it's the one that I have. The Roxy is basically just a normal variant of the grease gun, and the normal sort of sight. And the reason why the candy is so good, as you can see in these pictures, I'm gonna have pictures throughout this whole video, is how it changes the sight. It basically takes off that big circle thing off the top and allows you to have a little more clean of an iron sight, which is definitely huge. The grease gun is a gun that I love dearly. I remember my first game in the beta, my first game of the real game, this is the gun that I went to. This was the go-to gun for, I guess, beginners, I guess you could say, because I used it a crap ton when I was a beginner until I realized, hey, the PPSH also needs some love and it's a really good gun. But the grease gun candy definitely is a great one. Plus, the bonus thing about this is I believe this is the one that you can craft strictly through the Quartermaster collection. So you don't actually have to get lucky to get this one. You just have to stock up a proper amount of armory credits. That's how I was able to unlock it. 100% worth it. This is the best variant for the grease gun, and I don't think there'll be much debate there. Another thing I want to say is, as I go through these, you can, leave a comments down in the comment section down below if you disagree. Of course, these are sort of opinionated. A lot of people will have the same opinions as me, but I know some people won't, and that's totally cool. You guys can leave it down in the comment section down below. Next one we have here to talk about is the Ppsh. Now this one is interesting because there is a lot more variants. There's a lot of different cool variants for this gun. And for this one, for me, honestly, it's a toss-up. And I think it's the only one here that's actually a toss-up. Because the Ppsh, the Snake 2, which I made a video for yesterday, changes the sights, makes it awesome. Plus has probably one of the dopest, cleanest looks of any heroic in the game with that 15% XP boost. Check out my video yesterday if you guys haven't already. I went off with it in a live commentary, but I absolutely love that gun. However, you guys can see I have every single variant except one, and that is the duck soup, which some people hate because you run awkwardly with it. I've seen some comments about that, but pro players all want to get this variant, or before variants were banned back when the game first came out, because the duck soup does change the sights and make the gun completely a more sleek look. And even though it's got a dusty sort of camo, it really does help. And every time I'm able to pick this weapon off the ground, I start going off with it. And I'll show you a picture of the iron sights up on the screen. I couldn't find the cleanest picture because I don't have this one. I just had to look through Google, but I definitely think for this one it's between the duck soup and the Snake 2, and I can't really compare them evenly because I don't have that much time in with the duck suit because I don't own that variant. So you guys let me know in the comment section down below, which do you think is better based on, you know, even if you don't own them both, what you've seen from both these guns. Let me know that down in the comment section down below. But definitely a lot of love for the Snake 2 as well as the duck suit. Some really, really good variants. Next one here is the Type 100, which probably has the most variants. For some reason, they have 8 variants of the Type 100, and I own about half of them. And I've gone through and looked at the other ones. You know, they're all really dope. The thing is with this is that because there's so many variants, a lot of them are the exact same, and it is confusing because some of them are changed a little bit, some of them are the exact same, and some of them are, you know, completely different, I guess you could say. But my favorite for the Type 100 is the Empire. It's a fairly easy one to get. It's not that rare through supply drops or whatever. I have the Empire. The reason why I like this over even the Checked Out 2, which is another great variant heroic that I own, is because the Empire changes the sights of the gun. And how the Empire changes the sights is simply by making the sights a little bit fatter, I guess you could say, compared to the original Type 100. And with that being fatter, what it allows you to do is it just makes you a lot more accurate, in my opinion. As soon as I got this variant, I started dropping a lot of V2 rockets with it, and I've just loved this variant overall. It makes the gun feel a little, you know, feel better, and that iron sights is definitely something that I really respect. I think there are some really good variants for the Type 100 as well, and for some reason I just keep going back to this one as it is the best for performance. Does it look the best? No, it's got an, you know, an average green camo, whatever you want to say. The blue sky and the other heroics, the Checked Out, definitely look better, but I have to say this is a very, very awesome variant, and that's my favorite in the game. Next is the Ww2, which is kind of interesting. I have a few variants of this one. I've seen all the variants, of course. For this video, all the variants that I don't have, I researched and I looked up and looked through, because you can basically base how good a gun is or how good a variant is by looking through the iron sights. So of course I have playing experience with some, other ones I just have watching experience. But for the Ww2, for this one, it's interesting because the best variant for this gun is running no variant. Now that seems kind of weird, but all of these variants change these sights and make it pretty garbage. The Soggy is absolutely awful. I don't like that one. I know some of you guys may like it. Me personally, I don't like that one. And as far as all the other ones, the Trigger Happy and the Oil Can 1 and 2, those ones also make the sights super wide and fat, and it's not like the sort of tight fat sight that it is on the Type 100. It's wide and fat, and it's really ugly. The original Ww2 though has a fairly decent sight, so I just stick to that. I'm taking an XP loss, I guess, because I'm not getting 10 or 15%, but I love the original WAF, and I think that on a gun that's so hard to use, you need to have the most comfortable and the best setup, and that's what I pick, in my opinion, to use with the Ww2. Next one here is the M1928, aka the Thompson. With this one, I find that you want to run with there's not much options here. First of all, there's the default, the Wilco, and the Wilco 2, which all have the same sort of sight, and then there's the Buck Private, which sort of has a grease gun sight to the M1928, like a default grease gun sight, which I don't think is that good. So I just go with the Wilco here. The Wilco is a variant pretty much all you guys should have in this game, or you're going to get, because how you get it is by hitting social score level 6. You get this gun for free. So if you've, you know, played and hung out in the headquarters a lot, you probably already have that. If not, you're getting close. And the Wilco just has that standard sight. I think it's a little more zoomed out, a little more field of view on it, but that's what the Wilco adds, and that's definitely, of course, I would say the Wilco 2 technically would be the best variant because it's a heroic version of the Wilco 1 with a better camo, but I don't have that. So any one of the Wilco you get for free, or of course the Wilco 2, those will be the best versions to use for the M1928. Next one here is MP40. This one again is fairly interesting because you only have 3 variants here, and 2 of the variants take off the circle thing at the end and make it look like how the grease gun Candy does. However, the variant that I think still works the best is the Do-Re-Mi 1 or the Do-Re-Mi 2. I'm not sure why the Do-Re-Mi 1 doesn't show up anymore under the, you know, the options, but it is really awesome. It makes it have the same MP40 look that I've loved from previous Call of Duty games, but it makes the circle a little bit smaller and the gun a little bit sleeker, and that's why I have to give it to the Do-Re-Mi 1 or 2. I'm not sure what happened to the 1. I know people do have, it's a variant that exists. I don't know why it doesn't show under the menu nowadays, but it definitely is a really, it obviously shows if you have it, I guess, but it also is an awesome variant. The Do-Re-Mi 1 or 2 are, and especially number 2, it's got a clean silver chromish camo, unbelievably good. One of the variants that I really want that I don't have, definitely the best variant for the MP40. Next one here we have to talk about is the Sten. Now for the Sten, of course, I've played with it on other people's accounts. I've, on my way to doing those 50 multiplayer matches now. That contract is available right now. It might be gone by the time you guys watch this video, but you can sign up for it. I just signed up for it before I started this video. But the Rooted 2 Sten is amazing. I'll show the sights up on the screen right now. They look dope, and honestly, it doesn't cover the gun. It unleashes the full potential of the Sten, and this is a variant that if you have this already, you are probably one of the luckiest people in the world, because the Sten just came out and this variant is very, very sought after, heroic. So hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you guys could drop a like on this video, I would definitely appreciate that. All of the top variants for each of the SMGs. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video by smacking that like button, subscribing to the channel, and I'll probably go through and do something similar for the rifles or something like that if you guys did enjoy today's video. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Sub for a cookie, and don't looky. That's about it, guys. I'm out. Peace.